Over the course of a season, you're fishing a lot of different types of venues, aren't you? Do you have a standard repertoire, if you like, of reels and spools that you make up that you
I've got
tend to
loads.
keep to?
Yeah.
So what's your secrets on that as regards, you know, I mean, in the bottom of my box I think there's about 8 reels, and but you know, I go right the way through from 016 right the way up to about 030 on reel lines.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
How do you do? I mean, do you have a lot of made up rods now?
Yeah. All my rods are basically made up. I basically have rods for the 2 different seasons, basically spring, summer, and then autumn and winter. For my winter ones at the moment, I've got lines I'm actually using this one as a main line at the moment.
Which one, the post?
Yeah, I mean that's on the 014. It's very fine,
right.
but it's that smooth through your rod rings. You can cast like a really small waggler, like a 1.25 gram waggler. You can cast it easy, 20-25 meters. So that's brilliant stuff, and also 016. I don't tend to use anything heavier than that for me float fishing this time of year. Whereas in the summer, as you say, I'll be using like the 020s or the 021 or 023 in the power steel as well, just to give you that, you know, if you do hook a bigger fish. Because I did.
How about how often do you change your lines?
I tend, well, to be honest with you, I mean, I've had some of my lines, I must confess, I've had them on since I first put them on, since I first brought it out for 2 years.
Is it really?
It's unbelievable. I mean, you can try, you know, before you actually start your session, try and give it a bit of a, see if it will snap, but it's just not snapped at all. Obviously, when you're fishing in snaggy pegs where, you know, you can feel like gravel on the bottom or feel the weed or something like that, then your line might become a bit of abrasive, so definitely get it changed then. But as I say, I've had the Power Plus on one of my spools for 2 years and it's still going strong. And
I think one of the other great things certainly about Power Plus for me is that it comes on bulk spools, not massive 1,000-metre spools, but it comes on...
It's on a 4-ounce spool, yeah.
300-metre spools, which is great because a lot of the reels that we're using now are quite deep match spools. I mean, for instance, the reels I'm using, it takes about 250 metres to fill it. Yeah. I don't know about you, but I don't like having a knot.
No, I don't. Anything like that, I'm not. I'll just weaken it.
So not as I would, you know, the backwind 100 metres off or lose 100, but it's just it's just a personal thing with that. And I think it's great if you can just go off a one-shot fill off one spool.
That's a good thing about it, because you said most of them just come in 100, 150 metre spools, whereas as I said, Power Plus comes in 300, or you can get a 1/4 ounce one as well.
I know there's various ways and various knots you can use to attach your main line to your hook length. How do you go about it?
Yeah, basically I'll just demonstrate in the heavier lines. Most people, when the time they're not safe, they go through 2, maybe 3 times, but I like to go through 6 times, especially on the heavy lines.
So you always go loop to loop first?
Always loop to loop. No, never use water knots. I always do it loop to loop. So all we're doing is just getting the loop in the line, just wrapping it around the finger, and I'm going to put that loop through that big one 6 times. So we're going through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're left with that, and then you just slowly pull on that. But as with all knots, always make sure you moisten it. So we're left with that. So we've got a loop there. Just trim this tag bit off. So we'll pretend that's our hook then.
How many times you go through on that?
I've found it's so much more stronger. Really, I've found it stronger, and also I think it hangs a bit straight in the water as well. The important thing to remember is though, only do with this probably on 014 upwards, to do it 6 times. Because if you did it on lighter hook lengths, say 010, 012, then you're putting too much pressure on the line and it can snap. So I'd only ever do it in 014 plus, the 6 times. And again, we'll do exactly the same. So pretend this is our main line.
Just go straight forward, loop to loop on this.
Yeah, exactly. It's important to do where, you know.
There was a trend, you know, a few years ago where a lot of us were switching over to these, just joining the two lines together as a water knot.
Right.
And it was often felt that there was a better way of doing it, but
yeah.
I think as the years have gone on, we've all sort of drifted back to using loop to loop. I think it is stronger this way.
Yeah, I think so, especially if you do it the right way. Where a lot of people fall up is they'll do it the actual wrong way. What you'll find people doing is saying this is the hook length, they'll put the hook through the mainline loop, and then they'll put the hook through the loop. But that's the wrong way to do it. That's a very weak knot, that. Yeah. The correct way to do it is to put the hook length loop over the mainline loop, and then go back down to your hook, and then put that back through the mainline. Yeah. So when you do pull it tight, it creates like a figure of 8. Yeah. And just pull that nice and tight. That'll hang nice and straight then. I mean, can make these as big as small as you want.
Do you normally keep them fairly small? When you've done
I do, yeah. I mean, I've done
a
big there, but yeah, normally just have them like, say, 3/4 onion, something like that.
Yeah. Well, there's been some great tips there. I would suggest check these lines out at your tackle dealer. I myself, you know, have used Power Plus for a long time, so I can give that a personal endorsement. Follow Andy's tips on the other ones. I don't think you're going to go too far wrong. And also have a good think about your knots and your connectors, because there's some good tips there. I know there's a regular slot on the website with your blog and things about knots on there. So well worth having a look at. Thanks for coming in, mate, and I wish you well for the rest of the season.
Thanks very much. Cheers, Dave. Thank you.